Greetings everyone, and welcome to another Sol at the Movies. I just got back from seeing The Nut Job 2 Nutty by Nature by Open Road Films. And here's what I thought about it. So The Nut Job 2 follows the story of Surly the Squirrel, who, fresh off of conquering the nut shop in the first Nut Job movie, now all the animals at the park are gorging themselves on nuts and being generally lazy and apathetic towards being actual animals. But that all changes when the nut shop explodes, and the evil mayor of the town, Mayor Muldoon, plots to eliminate the park by turning it into an overly unsafe amusement park. So the animals have to save their park from being turned into an amusement park. That's kind of it. I mean, as far as plots go, you can't get much more original than that. It's got, like, a bad environmental message, it's got bad execution, it's just, I mean, the plot compared to the other problems that the movie has, it doesn't even, like, register a blip on my shit radar because it's just so inconsequential. So, the plot is bad, but it's nothing worth getting all up in a tizzy about. That tizzy will come a bit later. Now, the characters are kind of the same from the first Nut Job. Surly Squirrel is still the protagonist. He's still an unlikable douche, despite being voiced by Will Arnett. Andy is still the female squirrel who's compassionate and cares about the park and is just there. Don't really care for her. There's the other inhabitants of the park who are, again, just sort of there. They just kind of contribute nothing in particular, except the one that keeps screaming, "We're all gonna die." And as for the new characters, there's the cute, deadly dentist disease-afflicted mouse, Mr. Feng, who's voiced by Jackie Chan, which just makes me sad. And again, there's nothing to him. He's just there to be cute. And oh, that's his thing, that if you say he's cute, he'll, like, attack you or something. And he's got a big clan of mice that Surly wants to have them help save the park from Mayor Muldoon, but who cares, really? He's just there to be on the poster and cute or whatever. He's basically this movie's Poop from the Emoji Movie, where he's supposed to be on all the posters, but he really has nothing to do with the movie necessarily. Although, to be fair, Poop had nothing to do with the movie, whereas Dr. Fang is at least in the climax. Anyway, what's good about this movie? Well, nothing really, although I do have to say there is one moment that did not make me laugh, but it did kind of make me go, oh, it sort of played against my expectations, which is surprising for a movie like this, but it was just one part where Andy looks like she's about to start singing this big grand song, and I actually went in the theater, I was like, oh god, please don't sing, and then she didn't sing, and everyone was like, don't sing, that's ridiculous, don't do that, which was kind of nice that they didn't, you know, go for that whole thing. That's the only compliment I can give the movie. The amount of shit I could shovel onto this movie is astronomical. I have to say, without any hyperbole, and I can't believe I actually have to say this, but I think I hate this movie more than the Emoji Movie, which so far had been my most hated, worst, high-budget animated movie ever. And to be fair, this doesn't have nearly as high budget as the Emoji Movie does, but like, the Emoji Movie was more obnoxious and pandering and stupid, but this movie, The Nut Job 2, is more infuriating. Every single second of this movie, it's just loud and screaming and movement and obnoxious crap. It's like, every single character, oh, I forgot to mention the villains too, Mayor Muldoon, he's basically just Gideon Gleeful from Gravity Falls, but terrible, right down to his motivation of creating an amusement park, which Gideon does in Gravity Falls, but Gideon is actually an interesting character, and he's funny, and he's actually kind of adorable, but he's villainous too, and actually a threat, whereas Mayor Muldoon is just so cartoonishly evil, I'm surprised he doesn't shit brimstone and eat babies for breakfast. Like, they didn't even try to make him an actual realistic villain. He's just supreme evil all the time, but not in a funny way like General Hein, but just in a terrible, completely contrived, awful, just lazy way, where he's just like, oh, screw safety, I hate the aminals, and all that stuff. And then he has a daughter who was briefly in the first movie, but it wasn't specified that she was the mayor's daughter, Heather Muldoon, who is just, like, if you took the most annoying parts of Elmira Duff and Darla from Finding Nemo, and then cranked it up to 1 billion, you would get Heather. She's just this sociopathic, animal-abusing, screaming, horrible little girl that just... God, she's awful. I mean, at least in the Emoji Movie, the villain was, like, stock, you know? You knew she was the villain as soon as you saw her, but at least she was just, you know, she wasn't, like, annoying or anything. She was just sort of there, not really contributing very much. But, oh my god, like, Mayor Muldoon and Heather are just horrible. They're horrible, okay? And so, the best way I can describe the movie's pace, it's not exactly plot diarrhea, it's more like if you took a whole bunch of downers, like overdosed on downers, and then you went for a drive on the highway at 200 kilometers an hour. That's what it's like. It's like your brain just can't keep up with all this shit flying at you. It's just colors and noise and screaming and particle effects and things are exploding everywhere and it's just, oh my god, like I had a migraine by the end of it. In the Emoji Movie, never once did it flash across my mind that maybe I should leave. You know, I'm not saying the Emoji Movie is good in any way, but never did it occur to me that I should leave the theater. I did want to see what happened, but in this movie, after the first 10 minutes, I was begging to walk out of the theater. If I hadn't been there with somebody else, I would have left, I think. Even doing this review, I think I would have left the movie. It was that bad. Just, I mean, it has like 14 climaxes. How am I supposed to keep up with this shit? It's not like any of the story matters anyway. You know they're gonna succeed in the end. And nothing makes sense. The whole unsafe amusement park thing is like, nothing makes any sense. They should have had the theme park open, amusement park, whatever. They should have had it open at least for a few days before it all comes crashing down. The fact that it goes crashing down on the grand opening day just, it doesn't make any sense. And everybody drives like they were taught by the mother from Ponyo. It's like, the cars are made of styrofoam in this movie. They're all just flying everywhere all the time and crashing and exploding and... oh my god, I'm getting exhausted just talking about it. Now, again, you might think I'm playing this up, but I'm serious. Multiple times during the movie, I said, what the fuck is wrong with this movie? Because I can't even fathom every facet of this movie's awfulness. It's just that bad. So the Emoji Movie is the worst high-budget movie, I'm sure, high-budget animated movie, but this has got to be like the worst mid-range animated movie of all time. I mean, the first one, while it was pretty bad, it did have some visual charm with its setting being in the 1950s and everything like that, but this one can't even muster that. It has no visual charm, it has no likable characters, it has a stupidly evil antagonist, it has an annoying girl, and it has a scene where somebody eats vomit. That's how bad I'm talking. Sure, they're dogs, but like when you've gotten down to the level of puke eating, I think you know where this movie's level of quality stands. I mean, the first movie had fart jokes, but this one is just eating puke. So, yeah, can't say I recommend The Nut Job 2. I mean, I would rather cut off all my toes than watch that movie again. And they even had the gall to have a sequel bait, like, end teaser thing with the villain from the first movie, and it's just like, no, you know what, movie, no. If you have a third movie planned, then I will honestly remove 6 feet of my intestines because of that. I don't even know, okay? Movie's shit, can't recommend it, that's all I have to say about that.